Hello and welcome to Chubster and the Weirdos. Today I'll be giving you my top 5 tips on how to trim your cat's claws easily and with no stress. Most cats won't need to have their claws trimmed, especially if they are active, but if they get too long, they may need to be trimmed. If you start to notice your cat catching their claws on things such as bedding or carpets, if you can see the claw clearly when they are resting, or if you can hear them tip-tapping when walking on hard floors, they may need to be trimmed. If you are worried about your cat's claws, always make an appointment with a vet. It can be daunting trimming a cat's claws for the first time, but here are my top 5 tips that I find make the job so much easier. I hope you do too. Remember, never force your cat to have their claws trimmed, as this will just cause them stress and make it harder in the future. Before I go on, I would be really grateful if you could like and subscribe, as this really helps out Chubster's channel and will notify you of future videos. Thanks. So let's go with my 5 tips to make it easier and avoid stress. Tip number 1, be prepared. If your cat is not used to having their claws trimmed or even their paws handled, I would recommend taking some time to get your cat used to this before attempting to trim the claws. I find that handling the paws whilst fussing my cats makes it seem more natural to them, and for extra spicy cats, I give the odd treat. This can take some time, maybe even a week or more, before you can trim the claws, but all cats are different, and patience is the key. For example, Kitten was from a feral colony and does not often like to be handled. However, she really loves treats. I started by gently handling her paws like this, then offering a treat at the end. Now she associates having her claws handled and trimmed with treats and will purr as soon as I touch her paw. We are able to trim her nails quite easily now. Shezabella, on the other hand, does not like to be handled. Each time we need to cut her claws, we take a day or two to handle her paws first in order to get her used to it. Tip number 2, tire them out. When your cat is okay with having their paws handled and you are ready to trim them, I find that tiring my cats out is very helpful. A play session around an hour before helps to wear them out so they are more relaxed and less likely to be fidgety when it comes to trimming. Tip number 3, be organized. When you are ready to trim the claws, make sure you have everything you need close to hand so you don't need to get up. Have your cat nail clippers ready. I also like to keep treats nearby. Always use the correct clippers designed for cats. Close the doors and windows so they can't escape. I also find it easier to have another person with me to fuss over my cat while I trim the claws. Tip number 4, trimming the nails. When it's time to trim the nails, 1, make sure your cat is comfortable. 2, gently hold the paw and apply light pressure to make the claw extend but avoid squeezing too hard. 3, with the clippers, clip the tip of the claw, making sure not to cut too short. Avoid the quick, the part at the base of the claw that looks pink. The quick contains nerves and blood vessels, so cutting it will cause pain and bleeding. Stick to trimming the white part of the claw at the tip. It's always better to be cautious and cut less rather than risk cutting the quick. Tip number 5, be patient. If your cat becomes uncomfortable or stressed, stop. It's always better to pause and resume another day. You can even trim 1 paw a day or a couple of claws at a time. There's no rush. Being patient will benefit both you and your cat in the long run and make future claw trimming easier. I hope you found this information useful, and remember, if you are at all worried about your cat's claws, thanks for watching. If you found this information useful, I would be grateful if you could like and subscribe for future videos. Take care guys, in a bit.